Did you hear that? Did you hear it? Hello. Hey, welcome, friends. Welcome, guests. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Cincinnati. It's a great day here at Club 17. We are the 17th club out of 46,000 Rotary clubs worldwide. Our motto is service above self, and we are proud to be in our second century of service to this great city. You have all chosen a great meeting to attend. Today is Police Appreciation Day. We welcome Chief Theetge and all the awardees and their families for a great celebration of the brave men and women of our Cincinnati Police Department. Chief Theetge leads a department of over 1,000 officers and civilian employees who are dedicated to the public safety, crime prevention, and improving the quality of life for all residents. Chief Theetge, officers, guests, thank you for being here. We welcome you and look forward to the awards presentation. There will be 4 distinct awards that we present today. Let's begin our meeting with the Cincinnati Police Honor Guard to present the colors, followed by the national anthem led by Steve Haber. Here's a note. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Mark time. March. Right. Face. Easy. Hold. Order. Colors. Trim. Colors. Forward. March.
Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Please remain standing for an invocation and 4-way test by past President Utapapka.
Thank you, President Steve. I'm delighted to be here today, and I would like to ask you to bow your heads. O Almighty God, whose great power and eternal wisdom embraces the universe, watch over all policemen and law enforcement officers. Protect them from harm in the performance of their duty to stop crime, robberies, riots, and violence. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to honor the Cincinnati Police here today at Rotary. Thank you. Amen. Amen. And now for the 4-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
You may be seated. Thank you, Uta. Now to welcome our guests and prospective members, Dan Long. You're going to go right into the meeting sponsorship, too.
Okay, man. Thank you, King Steve. We have many, and I'm going to call them suspects today in lieu of our Police Recognition Day, but we have many suspects today. Checking in, number one is Adrienne Neidhart, a guest and daughter of Jim Neidhart. She's with Fifth Third Bank. Next is Allison Gosney with the Resources for Manufacturing, brought here by Michael Schatzman. Allison Gurwey with Ohio Ending Gun Violence Group, a guest of Steve King. And the rest of for the most part, the rest of these suspects, are brought to you by none other than Michael Schatzman. So we have Andrew Heyman with USI Life Insurance. Brooklyn Fox with Emerge. Claudia Schroeder with the European Chamber of Commerce. Gina Washington with the Hilton. Heather Kuhn with Santa Maria Community Service. Mary Dye with DMAC Security. And Nune Sargason with Santa Maria Community Service. And we also have Thorsten Schroeder, that is with Ditch. They're a soft pretzel manufacturer, and he is also a founder of a Rotary Club in Germany. So welcome. And last but not least, we certainly want to welcome back Charles Pierce from medical leave, and he brought with him the winner of this year's Jefferson Award winner, and also, I just found out that he is filling out an application to become a member of our Rotary Club, and that is none other than Ron Dumas. So welcome all suspects. And Steve, I guess you want me to just go ahead and, okay, I am the sponsor of today's meeting, Cincinnati Business Brokers. It is our goal to sell someone's business in a confidential fashion so that at closing, when we have a closing, no suppliers, no customers, no employees are aware that the business was sold. I've been doing this since 2005, and I've sold about 110 businesses in this fashion. Businesses anywhere from Ace Hardware to software companies, to fence companies, to electrical contractors, restaurants, golf cart companies, you name the industry, and I've probably been involved in selling a business somewhere in that industry. So please, if you are interested in selling your business, or most importantly, if you would be aware of a friend or a neighbor or someone that is interested in selling their business, please let me know. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Long Dan. Appreciate that. Between you and Michael Schatzman, it is tremendous the new membership growth that this club is enjoying. Service above self is alive and well at Cincinnati Rotary. Thank you, Dan, for both your sponsorship and your membership development leadership. Few announcements. Birthdays. They're already up there. I don't think Wayne, Jim, Jack, or Dave are in the audience today, so when you see them next, wish them a happy birthday. Rotarians in the news. Rotarian Rob Bellot received the Environmental Working Group Changemaker Award during the organization's 30th anniversary and Earth Day 2023 celebration on April 21st. Actor and activist Mark Ruffalo honored Rob for exposing one of the greatest environmental crimes in history. Dark Waters, the 2019 film, dramatized Rob's landmark case against DuPont for contaminating a West Virginia town with unregulated chemicals. Next time you see Rob, congratulate him. Split the pot. It's a lot of red tickets in here. Hope you have a red ticket. So today's pot winner is $46. The revolving pot is up to $1,838. So, oh my goodness, is that a small number? You're gonna have, this is like, it's way too dark up here for this super small number. All right, the last four digits is 3889. 3889. Do we have a 3889? It's a real, those are, oh, hey. Looks like he had to open up his phone to get the flashlight app out as well. That's worth $46, Dr. Hux, and a chance at $1,838. Oh, so close. There are what, 12 cards left, Christy? Oh, it literally was this close. Well, the pot continues to grow. So, quick announcement about Rotary After Hours. Due to an art show conflict with Hans Popke's schedule, tomorrow's Rotary After Hours has been canceled and will be rescheduled. The next Rotary After Hours is May 26th, hosted by Nancy and Jerry Reese at the Cincinnati Astronomical Society in Cleves. I think they'll be stargazing. Our next Rotary Happy Hour will be held next week, Wednesday, May 3rd, from 4:30 to 6:30 at Bromwell's Hearth Room. Owner Jeff McClure will be in attendance and looks forward to seeing his friends from Rotary. RSVPs are not required but are encouraged in DAC-DB. Thank you, Chelsea and Esteban. We'll see you there. There are a few spots left for next week's professional development series, Thursday, May 4th at 11 a.m. Attendees will join my friend, James Lenhoff, an author, podcast host, and coach for a discussion that will enable you to have hard conversations with more confidence. You'll learn how to implement this approach with your employees, customers, and even your family. Thank you, Bob Sheard, for organizing this series. Sign up in DAC-DB today. And finally, I wanted to recognize the successful event that Michael Schatzman organized with the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce on Tuesday. Not only did he bring, 9 guests today, Michael? But Michael was invited by the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce to give a presentation. It was by far the most moving and most delicious chamber event that I have ever attended. It was hosted by none other than the Red Cross and Stephanie Bird, so cheers to your beautiful facility. It was a glorious event. And Michael spoke to the chamber about what we do here at Club 17. But in the audience was one of this year's four-way speech contest finalists' mother. And she expressed her gratitude about what it meant for her as an immigrant and for her daughter as a first-generation American to be honored as a finalist in that competition. There were tears of joy shed, and not just by Michael. I wanted to say a special thank you to Michael for forging this great relationship with Alfonso Corneo and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and all the friends who we have met and will continue to make a relationship with going forward. That is all I have. I'd like to turn the program over to Michael Velardo, who's been a champion of the Police Recognition and Appreciation Day. Michael, welcome to the podium. Thanks a lot for your work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, King Steve. It is good. What a great day it is to have this day of celebration and recognition. In fact, it is such a great day that Steve Haber had us sing the national anthem in a key that I could sing. So, Steve, wherever you are, thank you so much. That is rarely the case. Was it a good key for you all? It was a great key for me. So, Cincinnati Police Department. Let me tell you a little bit about the department before I introduce the chief to you. The Cincinnati Police Department is the primary law enforcement agency for the city of Cincinnati, provides a full range of police services to 52 diverse neighborhoods. The department currently maintains approximately 1,000 sworn officers and 125 civilian employees. Led by the police chief, law enforcement operations are divided among 3 bureaus: patrol, investigations, and support. And on their website it says, we strive to increase safety, improve the community's quality of life, and prevent crime through a myriad of collaborative, engaged, evidence-based policing strategies. Their vision statement is the Cincinnati Police Department will be recognized as the standard of excellence in policing. I think we have that. Won't you join with me in applauding our department? So last year, I introduced this individual as the interim police chief. And this year, we can introduce her as the police chief. Police Chief Teresa Theetge. On January 9th, come on up. On January 9th of this year, she was appointed and named as the 16th police chief for the Cincinnati Police Department. Chief Theetge is the first female in the city of Cincinnati's history to be appointed to the police chief position full-time. She now commands a department, as I said before, of over 1,000 sworn members and about 125 civilian staff. She has been with the Cincinnati Police Department for over 30 years. In 2016, she was promoted to assistant chief, and in 2020 assumed the role of executive officer. Through her career, Chief Theetge has had a multitude of assignments at varying ranks. She has experience in patrol and investigative assignments as well as internal investigations. Her experience as a member of the command staff included overseeing an array of units that are responsible for the logistical needs of the department. That is, training and development section, fleet services, impound unit, personnel management, property and evidence management, collaborative agreement compliance unit, community relations unit, planning section, inspection section, public records section, and information technology management and systems. Phew, that's a lot. All that's going on in the department. Chief Theetge is a graduate of the following law enforcement programs. There are a lot of them there. You want me to read them all? All right, there are a lot of them there. She attended Xavier University, where she completed her bachelor's degree in liberal arts with a concentration in organizational leadership, her master's degree in human resources development. She is a lifelong Cincinnatian, as we announced last year when she was with us. Grew up on the west side. Some of you always like to applaud that. Yeah. They always do that when I mention the west side. And a graduate of Western Hills High School. Chief Theetge and her husband Bob have 4 adult children and 8 grandchildren. Please welcome Chief Theetge.
Thank you very much, Michael. Before we get started with the awards, Dan, in our line of work, suspects become arrestees. So we're going to need to talk to some of your people when we're finished here today. So, all right. I was telling a few members of the Rotary Club before we sat down for our lunch, and thank you very much to the Phoenix and their staff for a wonderful lunch. I received this award, I believe it was in 2004. It was a wonderful experience when I received the award. And our officers, the men and women of the Cincinnati Police Department, are extremely fortunate that we have a lot of organizations that want us to nominate somebody for an award, and they recognize our officers' hard work, and we're extremely thankful for that. But I have to tell you, the Rotary Club is like the top of the list. That's the award officers want to get, so thank you very much for that. All right, we'll get to the awards, and then I have plenty of time. I'm happy to stay and answer questions. I know that that's what we've done for you in the past, and I always love entertaining your questions. So, the first award is the 2023 Rotary Club Superior Achievement Award. The nominees are Sergeant Michael Barge, Police Officer Thomas Weigand, and Police Officer Mark Bode. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize Sergeant Barge, Officer Weigand, and Officer Bode for their superior achievement in multiple case investigations this past year. The work that these 3 individuals have done and continue to do is nothing short of impressive. Sergeant Barge, Officer Weigand, and Officer Bode have all dedicated over 20 years of service with CPD. During their tenure, they have served Cincinnati residents with professionalism, respect, and honor. All being currently assigned to the District 2's Violent Crime Squad, they have worked endlessly in ensuring that violent criminals, illegally possessed firearms, and dangerous drugs are removed from our Cincinnati streets. Their excellent investigative abilities have been extremely impactful in reducing violent crime throughout our great city. For example, on January 21st of 2021, Officers Bode and Weigand launched a month-long investigation into 2 suspects known to be involved in criminal activity. This investigation revealed that both suspects were involved in distributing dangerous drugs and illegally obtaining firearms. Their investigation resulted in a search warrant being executed at the suspect's residence and drugs and firearms being recovered. Both suspects were ultimately charged with weapon and drug-related charges and are currently serving a prison sentence. In 2022, approximately 1 year later, Officers Weigand and Bode continued this investigation, which led to a safety deposit box being discovered belonging to both incarcerated suspects. There's that word suspects again. This led to a search warrant being executed on the safety deposit box and over $130,000 being located and confiscated. This money was found to be derived from the sales of dangerous drugs. This is just one example of many that Sergeant Barge, Officer Weigand, and Officer Bode have utilized their superior investigative abilities to make our city safe. Sergeant Barge is to be commended for his superior supervision and guidance of the District 2 Violent Crime Squad. Officers Weigand and Bode are to be recognized for their outstanding investigative work and attention to detail in all case investigations. Sergeant Barge, Officer Weigand, and Officer Bode's efforts prove them to be worthy to receive the 2023 Rotary Club Superior Achievement Award. Congratulations, guys. So the recipients today are given an opportunity if they want to make a comment. I will tell you, police officers are usually like, thank you, and go sit down. So don't expect too many words from them. All right, the second award is the 2023 Rotary Club Hero Valor Award. The nominees are Police Officer Jeremy Randolph and Police Officer Rachel White. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize two veteran officers, Police Officer Jeremy Randolph and Police Officer Rachel White, for their heroism and steadfast response to an inexcusable incident. On October 20th of 2022, at 14:09 hours in the afternoon, police officers Jeremy Randolph and Rachel White were in the vicinity of the Western Hills Plaza when our emergency communications center received a call for a robbery in progress in the Target parking lot. The caller reported seeing 4 juvenile suspects physically assaulting a Hispanic female who was with her small child. Immediately following the assault, the suspect stole her vehicle and fled the area. Minutes later, officers Randolph and White observed the vehicle taken in the auto robbery stopped at a traffic light on Glenway Avenue. Shortly thereafter, officers Randolph and White attempted a traffic stop and engaged in a brief pursuit when the vehicle refused to stop. In the end, the vehicle was retrieved, a firearm was recovered, and all robbery suspects were taken into custody without further incident. As a result of Officer Randolph and Officer White's keen observation skills and decisive action in this situation, 4 juvenile suspects were arrested for a violent auto robbery and a dangerous firearm was recovered. Officer Randolph and White are commended for their quick action, professionalism, and dedication to duty, which resulted in the apprehension of multiple violent offenders. Officer Randolph and Officer White's selflessness in this incident, putting others before self to engage violent offenders, proved them worthy to receive the 2023 Rotary Club Hero Valor Award. Congratulations. Go ahead. Yep, absolutely.
Just real quickly, Rachel and I would like to say thank you to Chief Theetge and Lieutenant Colonel Jon for nominating us for this award, and also to the Cincinnati Rotary Club for your recognition. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, this next award is the 2023 Rotary Club Administrative Excellence Award. And oftentimes, when you see us receiving awards, not just from the Rotary Club but others, we recognize our sworn members of the police department and the city government. But I will tell you, there is so much that we do every day that we could not do without our civilian staff supporting us. And so you're going to see a few of them today within the department and within the city government, the law department specifically, that support us every day. The nominees for the Administrative Excellence Award, Mr. Mark Manning from our law department, Mr. Jon Vogt from our law department, and Dr. Jillian Desmond from our Crime Analysis and Problem Solving Squad. It is important to note that here at CPD, we rely heavily upon the men and women who wear the badge, but we equally recognize our civilian staff members, those who bring a tremendous amount of expertise to the table when developing strategies to problem solve. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize Mr. Mark Manning, Mr. Jon Vogt, and Dr. Jillian Desmond from CPD's CAP Squad for their endless contribution to our many problem-solving projects, both past and current. One of CPD's primary functions is to problem solve. This can be achieved by being a data-driven agency and utilizing all available resources at our disposal. These three individuals play a very important role in ensuring that our problem-solving teams have real-time data, safeguard options, and ambitious personnel at the table. The fruits of their labor allows for CPD to provide comfort to many residents in our communities by knowing that we will work through issues from a comprehensive approach with an ultimate goal of finding resolution and ensuring safety. Example being, in 2022, the Cincinnati Police Department was faced with an increased number of motor vehicles being stolen throughout our city. While reviewing this historically high trend, it was quickly noted that most stolen vehicles were that of a Hyundai or Kia manufacturer type. This uptick came on the heels of a mass viral distribution of social media how-to videos that instructed the viewer on how to override a design defect, making specific Hyundai and Kia types susceptible to theft. When faced with this problem, Mr. Mark Manning, Jon Vogt, and Dr. Jillian Desmond quickly stepped up and altered their expertise in developing a problem-solving strategy. Their contribution became very significant for us to provide support services to the countless number of victims who had their vehicles stolen. Mr. Manning, Mr. Vogt, and Dr. Desmond provided our team with real-time data, which allowed stolen vehicles to be recovered within 2 to 3 days of the theft offense. They ensured awareness and preventative resources were available for Cincinnati residents. Additionally, Kia and Hyundai were brought to the table to take part in the overall solution. This is just one example of how these individuals play an important role with our communities and CPD to achieve successful, innovative, problem-solving projects. Mr. Mark Manning, Jon Vogt, and Jillian Desmond's efforts and contributions prove them worthy to receive the 2023 Rotary Club Administrative Excellence Award. Thank you. Congratulations.
Lawyer can't resist a captive audience, so like no one can leave. So I just wanted to say briefly, just thank you so much to the Rotary Club of Cincinnati for this award, as well as the Cincinnati Police Department, and of course Chief Theetge for the recognition here today. One of my favorite things is working with a team of smart, hardworking people. It's a thrilling thing to be able to come into work every day and have the opportunity to do that. And we as a city are really blessed to have that here with the Cincinnati Police Department, with the city administration as a whole, to have that not just as an environment to work in, but just to benefit from it as a community. And so I know Jon and I and Jillian are all part of a larger unit of people that work really hard every day to serve the citizens of Cincinnati. And so I just didn't want to pass by the opportunity to thank them as well, because they are a part of everything we do every day. So thank you.
No, go ahead. Absolutely.
I'm not as well spoken, so bear with me. I'm sure a few of you are surprised to know that we have an entire unit dedicated to data analysis. And we are growing, so thank you and the chief for the opportunity. I brought 2 of our analysts. Our whole team couldn't come, so I just wanted to recognize them as well, because they put in quite a bit of work in this particular project. So thank you.
Yes. To Dr. Desmond's point, it takes a certain kind of person to want to be a sworn member of any law enforcement agency, especially in today's day. But I will tell you, a lot of the work that we do is because of the things that people like our crime analysts can tell us what to predict, what's going on in this city, what we think we might be facing in the future so that we could be ready for it. So thank you for that. All right, last but not least, my classmate, the 2023 Rotary Club Career Enhancement Award. The nominee is Captain Steve Saunders. I think a lot of you might know Steve. He's been our PIO for many, many years and is involved in a lot of things that our department touches. So, Captain Saunders has been a member of the Cincinnati Police Department since 1990. Steve was promoted to police captain in 2021 and has served in a variety of specialized roles, including neighborhood officer, mountain bike patrol, SWAT, police academy recruit advisor and instructor, and internal investigation section, and the recruit and background squad supervisor, and as the Cincinnati Police Department's public information officer. Captain Saunders currently manages the criminal investigation section, CIS. CIS is responsible for homicides, personal crimes, financial crimes, criminalistics, rapid indictment, and fugitive apprehension. Steve holds a Bachelor of Science degree in criminal justice from the University of Dayton and a master's degree with a focus on human resources development from Xavier University. It was a good program, wasn't it, Steve? Steve is also a graduate of the 269th session of the FBI National Academy. Steve and his wife of 30 years, Kim, live in the Loveland area where they raise their 2 children, Jake and Bree. Captain Saunders is truly an incredible asset to our city and to our CPD family. I would like to take this opportunity to thank him for his many years of dedicated service and being committed to protecting and serving the city of Cincinnati. His ambitious work ethic, career achievements, and willingness to help others prove him worthy to receive this special recognition today, the 2023 Rotary Club Career Enhancement Award. Well done, Steve.
Steve will definitely say something, but I nominated Steve for this award, and again, the people that know him, they love him, and CPD has been extremely fortunate to have him and his wisdom and all he's had to impart his entire career, quite frankly. So, Steve, congratulations.
You know, as a former PIO, you're not going to pass up an opportunity to get behind a microphone. Right, Danita? You missed those days, right? So I'm going to say a few words. First, thank you to the Rotary Club for this honor, this wonderful luncheon. We appreciate your support. For so many years, I've been fortunate to come to this event when I was PIO to see all of our officers and civilians get recognized for all the great work they do. It's also nice to know there's a few Rotarians in the room that I know, Lori Quinlivan, Jim Nyhard, and then I guess a future Rotarian in Ron Dumas. So nice to have friendly faces there. I want to thank Colonel Theetge, our chief, for accepting this nomination on behalf from Colonel Davis. Thank you for that recognition for sure. I want to just first thank God for the blessings I've had in my life. I've been extremely blessed. As the chief read the background, having been married for over 30 years now, 2 amazing kids. We've been very, very blessed in our life. I'm extremely blessed to have my mom here with me as my special guest, Chris Saunders, who's sitting at the front table. Yeah. And this past year, I was asked by Chief Theetge to be a Real Men Wear Pink ambassador for the American Cancer Society to raise money for breast cancer. And we raised a lot of money for both the American Cancer Society as well as our Engage program for the Cincinnati Police Department, helping our own members who are battling breast cancer. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, so it was extremely personal to me. And she's been thriving and surviving and being such a great example for others to go through this battle. So a couple other things to recognize. You know, I get this recognition. I appreciate the career I've had. It's been an incredible ride for as long as we've been doing this, Chief, is for over 32 years now. where I am right now in my career, I give all the credit for the people that are working with me at the criminal investigation section, everybody in this room for what they do every single day. CIS is an extremely special place. Colonel Jon, I know you know that from your time in the Investigations Bureau, Chief, Colonel Davis, everybody who's in here. Just real quick stats, the news, because this kind of drives me nuts as a former PIO, all you see is doom and gloom, right? All you see is the negative on the news. You should know that our police department last year was down 25% in homicides from 2021 to 2022, and we're trending in the same direction. That's here this year, right now. So that's due to all the people you see in this room, all the things we talked about, the dealing with the heroism and attacking someone who's engaging in violent crime in District 3, CAPS and all the crime analysis and bringing it all together and help us understand the trends, the investigations that go on behind the scenes to stop the people who are the next shooters, Crime Gun Intelligence Center that Colonel Jon leads. All of those things rolled together are leading us in the right direction. So you should know that. And if you don't know that, please know that that's important and we should share that with the public. Just trying to wrap up what I'm going to say here. Last thing, I spent some time, and the chief said, in my career I worked in recruiting and background. We need more cops, plain and simple. We're close to 100 officers down right now. You know somebody that knows somebody who should be a police officer. Go to this website, write it down, joincincpd.com. Join, you got cards? See Sergeant Mitchell, Anthony Mitchell, right here. I'm passionate about this police department. I'm passionate about the city, the great work that we do. Lori, you actually shot a video for us and did an amazing professional video for the CPD. If you go to joincincpd.com, you'll see that. Talk to somebody, engage them. The best way to advertise, the best way to recruit is by word of mouth. You support us, we support you for everything you do, and thank you again for this honor. Very, very much appreciate it. Take care.
I'm good. All right, so those are our award winners for 2023. Thank you again very, very much, Rotary Club, for allowing us an opportunity to honor some of the hard work that our dedicated men and women do every single day for this city. That being said, I'll tell you just a couple of things that are going on in the department, and then I'll open it up for questions. As Captain Saunders mentioned, we're below our authorized strength right now. I would take it personally, except the fact that every law enforcement agency in this country is struggling with recruiting right now. I think the profession gets a bad rap. In fact, I know the profession gets a bad rap. I've enjoyed it every day for over 30 years. You're not going to get financially rich being a police officer, but I will tell you the rewards you get in other ways are endless. They are countless, how you can help somebody every single day and not even realize the impact you made on individuals. So, I was able to raise a family and put them through Catholic school, put them through college. If you do have somebody that you think you might be referring our way, one of the biggest selling points is we have a very robust pension system. So for today's day and age in this economy, I think the pension alone should be something that attracts individuals to our profession. So that's one of the things we have going on. As Steve also mentioned, last year we had a good year. Our homicides were down. Our closure rate is up. About 74% of our homicides are closed by individuals being arrested, or if they too end up being deceased, that's a closure. 74% of our victims' families had closure to their loved ones' homicides last year. So that's due to the hard work that the men and women, both at the homicide unit and the patrol, information for us. We are embarking in about 2 weeks. We will be opening up our next recruiting campaign for individuals to sign up for a test later in the fall. I tell people when I signed up and took the test back in the beginning of 1990, 4,500 people signed up and took the test for 42 seats in the academy class. 45. Last year, we had 50 seats in the academy. We had 789 people sign up. 80 showed up the day of the test. So that's how drastic the drop has been. I was recently in attendance at the Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police Conference, and as well as the Major City Chiefs Conference. And both organizations, so one for the state, one for national and international, recognize we need collectively to change the narrative about what it means to enter this profession. So there's some discussions about some kind of a marketing campaign to change what people think about being a police officer. What the media portrays is not who we are. What the TV shows portray is definitely not who we are. And so we need to put out there what we really are all about. So stay tuned for more on that. That being said, happy to open it up for questions on any topic that you like. Yes, sir.
A few weeks ago, we had a presentation about drugs and illegal aliens being smuggled across the border from Mexico into Texas. And they were telling us that even Ohio is a border state, that there are no borders stopping us. How are we experiencing that here in Cincinnati, and what are you employing to control?
Yeah, thank you for that question. While, yes, Cincinnati and Ohio as a whole are seeing an influx in the drugs that come into this country. What you see on TV at the border states is not what we are experiencing, but that doesn't mean that the drug trade isn't affecting us just as hard as it is some of those border states. And so we're a part of the Hamilton County Heroin Coalition Task Force. That has paid dividends for us in getting drugs off the street, getting the sellers off the street, and also when somebody dies of an overdose, that is now investigated as a crime, and we look to see maybe, for example, who provided the heroin to that individual that overdosed, and start holding those people accountable in that way. Yes, ma'am.
I'm really proud of what your department has done with initiatives like Pivot and with police community relations, and I wonder if you wanted to share some stories of how Cincinnati Police Department is helping other cities improve community relations.
Absolutely, thank you. The pivot that she's speaking about is, if you're familiar, there's a crime triangle. You have to have a suspect, you have to have a victim, you have to have a location for a crime to occur. We have programs that target suspects. We have some programs now that try to help victims. And Pivot is our program where we focus on the location. Why is it certain corners, certain street segments of our city produce the most crime? And so now we look at what's going on in that neighborhood, that location, that we can change to help reduce the crime there. So that's what the Pivot is. We are invested in that. Again, the law department helps us tremendously in that initiative. Other city departments help us tremendously as well in that area. But as for the police community relations, April of last year was our 20th anniversary of the collaborative agreement. That's something to be celebrated. That collaborative agreement is not going away. It's here to stay. It has changed how we police this city for the better. It has definitely improved our police and community relations. I often work with individuals from the community when there's an incident in another city, for example, Memphis, the most recent one. And when things kind of settle down in Memphis, then they start reaching out to us and saying, what do you do that gives you such a strong police community relations? We turn to the collaborative agreement as kind of the starting point for those conversations, and then we talk to them about who you need to bring to the table and how you need to check egos at the door. 21 years ago now, when they were trying to, when the DOJ was here for the MOU and the collaborative agreement, we as police officers, we tried to keep that at arm's length. Now we embrace it. We teach other departments how to embrace it. There really is work to be done around police community relations. I often tell people Cincinnati's different. Can't always put my finger on exactly how or why we're different. but we're different. Our citizens are different, our city is different, our police department is different. And I mean that in all good ways. We're different in a very, very good way. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm interested not only in the answer to this, but I'm asking it. Do you have a relationship with the Cincinnati Public Schools in terms of mass shootings? Or are you helping them with training or with preparation?
Yes, that's a very good question. Unfortunately, again, in today's times, we have to be prepared about mass shootings, especially in the schools. We have school resource officers in all of the Cincinnati Public School high schools. That's their primary area of responsibility, but they also have a multitude of other schools that each one of them is responsible for. So they work very closely with Cincinnati Public School leadership team in designing safety plans, communicating those safety plans to both the staff, faculty, and students in those schools. We've had, and you've probably seen it in the news over the last year or so, a lot of these swatting incidents, these phony school shooting calls. We have to respond to each and every one of those as if it's real, if it's really happening at that moment, until we get there and verify that it's not. And so each time we have one of those, our response, like I said, is the same as if it is an actual active shooter situation. And the school resource officers are usually the first to be on scene or respond to that. Also like to make everybody aware of the fact that when we have something like that, for example, I think one of the first ones we had a little over a year ago was at Princeton High School. Princeton High School is not in the city, but we know because of the talent and the training and the tools that Cincinnati has that we need to go. So we had a lot of Cincinnati officers that were at Princeton High School very, very quickly as a resource. And so we also partner not just with Cincinnati Public Schools, but with all the local law enforcement jurisdictions and other school systems on how to handle something like that. All the way in the back there.
Hi, my name is Allison Burley. I'm with the Ohio Ending Gun Violence Task Force. Cincinnati Police Department has a lot of programs that align with our mission, which is to amplify youth support and to get illegal guns off the streets and to promote firearm safety at home, including safe firearm storage. We're really excited to partner with Cincinnati Police Department on May 17th for our National Trauma Survivors Day event in Evanston. Thank you very much. I was wondering if you would share with the group about your youth programs, such as the Children in Crisis Intervention Camp over the summer, the Youth Cadet Program, and also promoting firearm safety at home, such as the Project Child Safe and the free gun lots available.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. We have a unit in our department. It's called the Youth Services Unit. Within that unit are our school resource officers and their chain of command, their supervision. They wear so many hats, so very, very many hats. We think of them as school resource officers, but they go way above and beyond that. They are the first line to a lot of our youth programming and the city camp, which you were referencing. So we can identify children in our city who are suffering from some type of trauma. And it may not be obvious to us, but our police officers that deal with them every day, it's more obvious to them. So they identify a certain number of children in our city that may be suffering from trauma, and they go through this camp with our police department and other civilians throughout the summer on how to deal with life, how to deal with trauma that they're going through, how to respect one another. One of the biggest things we're seeing, you'll see it in the news all the time, the youth violence, but especially youth gun violence across this country is like I've never seen it in 30 years. And I really truly believe it's because most of them have zero de-escalation skill sets. They don't know how to de-escalate. They just automatically turn to a firearm. And so part of that program is also trying to teach them deconfliction skills so that they can de-escalate some things. We also have our police cadet program. So this is 15 to 18-year-olds that come and work with us through the summer. We're expanding that to more of a year-round program so that they can stay engaged with us. We talked a little bit about our challenges with recruiting. And for police, you have to be 21 years old to be a police officer in the state of Ohio. So a lot of our programs are for 15 to 18-year-olds, and then we lose them to other opportunities from 18 to 21. So we're trying to build out a program, all of city government, not just police, of how to keep youth engaged to want to become a civil service employee for the city of Cincinnati. And so a lot of that work still has to be done. I'm just looking out, I see Lieutenant Shannon Hine is here with us today. Shannon started as a cadet many years ago and stayed with the police department and now is a lieutenant with us. So the program works. We just have to get the word out, get interest, build up the interest, and get some more people to want to join the programs. So those are just two of the bigger ones that we do, but I will tell you, not just our youth services officers, but other officers in this department, I hear about different things that they do with youth engagement that are not even formal programs with us. They do reading programs in the schools. They're Boy Scout leaders, Girl Scout leaders, so many other things that they can impact the youth in this community, and we just need to keep that going. That's very, very important to us right now. Yes, sir, all the way in the back.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for your dedication to our community. We're very safe and fortunate to have the CPD looking out for us. I'm curious if you could share your thoughts on City Council's decision some time ago to decriminalize cannabis and also the state of Ohio's decision to do medical cannabis within our area. Do you perceive that that's been positive, negative, or not really changed anything for the way the police officers have to operate in the community?
Yeah. So one of the things that police have to recognize, we don't really write the laws. We just enforce what is put on the books. So something like that, when City Council chose to decriminalize it, okay, that's a decision our city leaders made. That's the law by which we have to abide. And so it was decriminalized in the city of Cincinnati. It was not decriminalized in the state. So the police are very talented in using all the tools in front of them when need be. And so if we have a reason to have somebody with marijuana that we need to do some kind of an action, we still have state law that we can fall back on. But we are typically governed by what the city administration, city leadership wants us to do. As far as medical, the same way. The state of Ohio chose to legalize medical marijuana. We just enforce the laws that are on the books. Has it had an impact in the way we police or what we see in this city? Not really. Not really. If it has, it's been very, very small impact. The bigger challenges we have are around opioids, heroin, fentanyl, not so much marijuana. Yes, ma'am.
We have a hands-on service committee in our Rotary Club, and I was wondering, are there opportunities for Rotarians to do volunteer work with the police department?
Yes, so we have a lot of opportunities for volunteer work. It would not be like focused around gun activity or gun violence or anything like that, but if that's what you're asking, we have to draw the line somewhere. But in fact, we just a little over a week ago just honored all of our volunteers. So Citizens on Patrol is a big volunteer group that we have. We just honored all of the volunteers that we utilize every day, school crossing guards, like I said, Citizens on Patrol. So there are volunteer opportunities. If you want to get with me afterwards, I can give you a number. We have an individual who manages all of those opportunities for us. Yes, sir.
What about the Weigand program that used to be involved prior to COVID? Is that in that?
Yeah, you absolutely have an opportunity to ride along with one of your police officers. I believe, Steve, do we still have on the website where they can go on and register and do that? We encourage ride-alongs. You will learn so much about policing just riding one day with one officer in any part of our city. Yeah.
Let's give a round of applause for the chief.
Thank you.
Can you stay here just a second? We could go on and on and on, but it is such a privilege to have you and your awardees here today. It has been our It has been a pleasure and an honor to award the brave men and women you have honored and extend that to your entire police force. Clearly, you all believe in service above self and are living out that service above self. As a small token of our appreciation, I wanted to share with you a Rotary Club of Cincinnati coin that says service above self, and on back is the four-way test, the motto or the guiding ethical code we use to live our lives out through service to others. But in addition, we'd like to make a donation to the Cincinnati Police Department to further your efforts and improve your police department and keep it a shining example that it is to police departments around the country. Thank you so much. Please stand up. Give her a round of applause. Michael Velardo, you ran a wonderful program. The chief and Mr. Saunders mentioned a good team pulls things together. Thank you, Michael, and the team who made this event run so smoothly. In addition to running smoothly, Chief Theetge has volunteered to participate in our Rotary Due Days, which is going to be in October. She's going to be helping promote Due Days as well with a PSA video announcement afterwards. So again, we really appreciate the collaboration and that making this city, as wonderful a city as it can be. A few final announcements before I let you all go. There are 3 meetings this afternoon. The Allocations Committee, they're meeting in the President's Room on the first floor. World Affairs Committee is meeting in the back of the room, and the Membership Development Committee is meeting in the front of the room. And could all the award winners please stay for some photos? We'd love to get some PR shots out to the area media, so if you wouldn't mind hanging around for a few more minutes, that'd be great. We're going to be back at the Hilton next week for Allison Delgado's presentation on her book, My Race for Life. Allison is a Coleraine cross-country star who is back in town for the Flying Pig, but in 2010 she suffered a traumatic brain injury and developed aneurysms that required severe surgery and severe rehabilitation. With patience and determination, the young physician completed her training and is now a practicing pediatrician in Park City, Utah. She resumed running, and she placed 4th in the Flying Pig Marathon in 2012. So come hear Allison's inspiring story next week. The RSVPs will be due by Monday at 5 p.m. Until then, make it a great week. Meeting adjourned.